Terrific Tuesday, everybody. We're back, moving the chains. We're rocking, we're rolling. 2 more days from now, Eagles, Cowboys, NFL, college football. We got week 2 college football. We got week 1 NFL football. Can I get a hell yeah, brother? You sure can. We're rocking, we're rolling. I'm not rocking and rolling if I'm North Carolina last night. That was, oh my God, that was bad. Whew, I want to touch on that. And then Matt Stafford. Good news, he is starting week 1. I'll get into that in a second. But I want to start off with this. So, Bill Belichick came back into coaching. And I wanted to crush on him today. But I'm not. But I think it's a lesson that we need to learn. There's this thing called adapting in life, getting uncomfortable sometimes. And I feel like Belichick, I don't know if it's, he got full of himself. And I just feel like, to me, when I look at Belichick now, he's just doing stuff that's comfortable. He's not hiring elite people. He's hiring his retread buddies. He's hiring Freddie Kitchens on the staff. And he didn't even go out and get a new coordinator like Miami did with their defensive coordinator, who you saw last year was a joke. This year they get him. And they look awesome, right, in the Notre Dame game. And I'm watching Belichick, and it's like a staff, friends and family, like staff of coaches. You got Jamie Collins, who played in the league. He was out of it because he was into video games more than he was played for Belichick, so now he's a coach, but he has no coaching experience. Matt Patricia's defense coordinator, but he coached offense that last couple years in New England. I just, my head is like, I can't understand it. But it goes back to one word, and it's ego. And Belichick fell in love with the sauce, and he fell in love with himself. It's this Greek story of narcissism. You stare, I think it was Coward said once, you stare at yourself long enough in the pond, you fall in love with yourself. New England did. And they gave way too much power to Belichick the last 7 years of the drafts. It's been documented. It's been awful. He tells the scouts, I got it from here. It's been horrible. And I just, last night, man, you got 40 transfer kids. It's such a, I think it could work with North Carolina. But then I'm pessimistic. I really don't know. And I just don't know with, him, is he ever going to get out of his own way? He reminds me, he's like a curmudgeon. And listen, we're never perfect. I'm not, you're not, anybody listening's not. But my point is, I was thinking about this today. I just watched that game 5 minutes in last night, and it looked amazing. I mean, the whole, Roy Williams was there, and LT, and Michael Jordan, everybody was there in Chapel Hill, everybody. And then 5 minutes later, you look at it and go, no. And TCU decisively beat them last night on their home turf. And deservedly so. They're a good program. I was telling my dad before I got on here what the score was, and he goes, what's the score? 48-14. What? So, it was crazy last night. Excuse me, but I just don't know with North Carolina. It was a big yikes last night. That was my whole thought today. It was bad. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I understand that. They got a couple cupcakes down the road. Hopefully they can get going. But the other thing is, and I think somebody touched on this tonight, I think it's Rhett Lewis with Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah podcast. If you guys love football, should check it out. And they were talking tonight about, on my way home from the gym, is that Matt Patricia had that great game plan against Arch Manning. But the difference is Matt Patricia had a whole offseason to prepare for Arch Manning in Texas, right? Bill Belichick didn't get that. So I just felt like last night, Belichick got schooled, he got worked, got exposed. This does not undermine his genius. He's one of the best coaches I've ever seen, college or pro. But we can look at it now and go, the main difference between him and Nick Saban, because that was always the thing. Saban in college, Belichick in the NFL, the GOATs. And rightfully so, they've earned that. And Nick's not perfect, neither is Bill. But Nick Saban, I applaud him on this. He got uncomfortable with himself. He got uncomfortable. He hired different people. He went outside the box. He doubted himself. That's a great thing. And here's the other thing. Guys were kind of had checkered past, and he kind of looked past it. Lane Kiffin, punching bag, everything. Hey, we're going to help you up. Sarkisian, demons, all this other shit. Bring you in. So I just kind of feel like, to me, when I look at Alabama during Saban's run, Nick Saban went against the grain and got different people and different ideas. And he adapted, right? Excuse me. When I watch Alabama near the end, they were adaptable, right? They were defensive-centric, just run the ball, old school, tough, and they still were with Nick Saban. But then they became wide receiver, running back, with offensive linemen. And they adapted. I didn't see Belichick do that. That's the one knock I have on Belichick. He just got grumpy, got curmudgeon-y, got assholey, and that's fine. But when you have Tom Brady and he's the protective shield on offense, you can focus on just defense and special teams. He's 84 and 104, and he scores 19 points a game without Brady. The proof's in the pudding. So I'm not going to jump the gun on one game, but that was hard to watch last night. And it was 20 to 7. My brother comes in my room, we're watching it, and they score that right first play in the second half, an 80-yard touchdown. I'm like, all right, bye. It's over. So it was a bad look last night, and hopefully it gets better for Belichick. I hope so. I got my doubts. Not because of the girlfriend, not because I'm petty, I'm here for entertainment. And I think it's entertaining to watch Belichick on a college sideline when, by the way, he never really cared about it his whole life. So just to keep that perspective. And TCU, that looked great last night. So just to touch on North Carolina again, very impressive, very not impressive by North Carolina. Big yikes. And they got a lot of work to do, and Belichick's got to go do some self-reflecting in the mirror, because it's bad. TCU I wanted to touch on. They're a good program. My whole life, they've always put guys in the league. Andy Dalton, beige water pistol, pew, 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 pew. Red rifle, bro, pew, pew, pew. The nickname Coward gave them. They've had good teams. They obviously, a couple years ago, they had Max Duggan. They got all the way to the championship game, which we all saw what happened. Georgia was just, that was... David, Goliath, there was no fight, okay? First drive, I'm like, all right, maybe, okay. And then, no, okay. So, good talk. Okay. But that was the season program last night. And by the way, this Sonny Dykes offense, I was thinking about this today, because I remember this. Sonny Dykes' dad and him, they're coaches, right? He's the son of an ex-coach. But the downside of that is he didn't want the nepotism, which I think Belichick has, because he's got 3 sons on his staff, Michael Lombardi and his kid, and it's a mess. But not about North Carolina. TCU, to me, this Sonny Dykes offense, listen, I remember when he had Jared Goff at Cal. And I remember Jared Goff put up numbers. And there's a play call that I remember. I think it was called stretch left 357 all. And what that means is, and I'm trying to draw this here, but you pull it, you slow mesh, pull it, linebacker sink, and then you hit a 3-step post, a 5, and a 7 on that concept of the route. And he ran it to perfection. And Jared Goff had a lot of success in that offense. It was air raid. It was kind of down the field. It was Mike Leach. It kind of had that tree to it. And I saw a little bit of that last night. Now, the difference is with this kind of air raid is that they can run the ball. And they ran the ball last night. Excuse me. So, I think TCU going forward, and they kind of dabbled in the portal. Not a lot, but they dabbled a little bit. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. A little 50-cent action. So, it was a great win last night for TCU. Great job for their program. They're seasoned. They've been together a long time. North Carolina, they're kind of throwing shit at the wall, making it stick. And hopefully it gets better, but we shall see. But that was what I wanted to touch on about that game. So, I got news today. Matt Stafford is returning to the Los Angeles Rams, the seasoned veteran, all-time talent. One of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in this league. Seasoned SOB, weathered, been through the mud, all this stuff. He's back. And I am happy. If I'm a Ram fan, I am elated right now. He's expected to be back week 1 after missing all that time with the back injury. Still worries me a little bit because he's had some back issues. But they better... I was thinking about this today, and I heard this on ESPN tonight when I was at the gym stretching and getting ready to go. They're playing Houston Texans week 1. That is a fearsome pass rush. DeMeco Ryans is going to send everything at Matt Stafford. Now, Matt Stafford, he's been in the league long enough. I'm sure he can figure it out and pick it apart. Because Houston's secondary, that's going to be a great matchup. A great chess piece. DeMeco's defense and that secondary with Derek Stingley and Lassiter. And then you got the front. It could be a fastest defense of football. I'm being serious. It's got reminiscence of what I watched Sunday. South Carolina's defense. Fast, athletic, secondary guys making plays everywhere. So it's got that kind of feel to it. And I love to see Stroud and Stafford go at it. I cannot wait. But they better protect Matt Stafford, because if they do not, he's going to be on his back, and he might have something happen to him on that football field. And they cannot get into third and longs. That's just going to be too much. Rams' offensive line is kind of still shuffling. And he's not a mobile guy at 37. So keep an eye for that. I am happy for him. I know Noah Leesing's the biggest Rams fan I know. I know he's happy right now. But Rams, listen, man, they're in that bubble right now. And the NFC, to me, they're right there. We keep forgetting they were 12 yards away from the thing. So I'm not going to jump too crazy about it. They're the ones that play with Philly the best I know how to. So that's all I want to touch on here tonight. Stay tuned throughout the week. Got more content coming out. College football, pro football is back. Let's go. Hope you guys are doing well. Terrific Tuesday. Adios. Godspeed.